Ready?
Yes.
Oh, the intro theme song.
So Elliot's the one that's been whistling all this time.
That's who it is.
Elliot's a whistler.
All right, you guys ready?
Ready, let's do
Let's
it.
do it. Go on. Welcome back to another episode of the Inside Gaming Podcast. Today's topics include talking about Bruce moving into a new apartment.
IG podcast, make money.
Bruce
YouTube
moves
into
new apartment
place,
for
hashtag
Bruce.com/podcast go.
Also, we'll be talking about people making money on YouTube, transparency, and all that good stuff.
That's interesting.
That's what we
near
do on the
and dear.
podcast, and we'll be playing video games such as Lifeless Planet and Rust.
Okay.
I'm excited about Rust.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I
you
like
first.
Rust.
Excited
That's
about
fine.
Rust.
I love Rust.
So-
Rust is
You
great.
played it for like 5 minutes.
More like 50.
You guys, we got to make money real quick. Hold on.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And before we begin, Lawrence has a little something he wants to say.
I do. So
Is he coming out?
He just
that happens at the
farts
end.
into the mic.
So,
Do it.
listeners, you guys can help Inside Gaming stay free by completing a short and anonymous survey. It'll take about 5 minutes, but your answers will help us match your show with advertisers that best fit the sensibilities of you guys.
Oh.
Listeners who complete the survey will be entered into an ongoing monthly raffle to win a $100 Amazon gift card. They promise not to share your address or any of that stuff. But if you would like to take the survey, and we encourage you to, go to www.podsurvey.
Lawrence, read good.
Where do we go?
Oh boy,
I'm a
bad
good
live
person.
read. Bad live read.
www.what? He failed out of radio school. Yeah.
www.podsurvey.com/inside-gaming.
Is it true that you have to give a blood sample?
No, cum sample.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Uh-huh.
Right.
I'm in. I give everyone those out for free.
Well, you got to go do it right now.
They can
though.
actually
So
read
we'll
them off
give
your
you a
keyboard.
sample
Right now?
Jack
Go
off
on.
and type.
Oh, wow, fun. So, oh, thank you.
And we're done.
Your
So-
penis makes weird noises.
So actually, before
Maybe
we
your
begin,
penis doesn't.
before we get too knee deep into any gameplay or any of that stuff, we should actually come out and say that the reason why we're doing reads like that
Yeah.
is we found a way to keep doing podcasts. Is that
Yay.
correct, Bruce?
Yeah. So what we do basically is we do these live reads during the podcast. There'll probably be a couple in the middle, one at the beginning, and maybe one at the end. And this is the way we keep the podcast free, and even keep making it at all because it actually kind of pays the bills for us. So we apologize for the ads, but however, we're trying to do ads with people that we actually believe in.
Yes.
So that's something that we're doing our best to.
Things that we use
To
or
keep-
things
yeah.
that we like.
keep
Yeah.
going.
So that
because-
way Adam doesn't have to sell any more of his hair.
I'm done giving it away. Those little Indian girls can figure it out for
He's
themselves.
Getting, no, he's getting chemo. He's getting chemo.
Oh,
Is
come
he?
on.
Yeah.
We're paying
Jesus.
for Adam's chemo.
Yeah.
So actually, no. A lot of you have been asking for a long time. Can you guys do a podcast? And we're pretty short-staffed here, so we try to do what we can with what we have. And we've been talking for weeks and weeks with the right people about a way to make it profitable for the company.
Yes.
So that there's a way we can do this that it is actually making money for Machinima, and so that we can keep doing this. There is a give and take for how much time it takes to produce something like this. So now we have found a way that through advertisers and other things, we can actually do this, do it for free, and make entertainment that you guys want.
I've
And
got good news for you, James. Now we can start paying you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, don't
make
want
some
it.
money. Oh, you don't want it?
No.
You just do it out of the goodness of your heart. That's
Yeah.
really nice of you.
Give it to Lawrence.
Okay. We'll give it to
I make all
Lawrence.
my money in the sperm bank. I'm fine.
either way, so before the sellout concerns come out, we just want to be transparent with you guys and let you know what's going on.
And to confirm that we sold out a long time ago.
Oh yeah, very
Long
long time ago.
ago.
Yeah,
We need to
Joe
make- we
Joe
need to
would
make
give
money
us
and live in a
all that
house.
money.
Or apartment or box.
Or yeah, maybe a condo that I just moved into.
But on that subject, YouTube making
Yeah.
money. Lawrence,
Our first discussion
lead
topic
it.
is selling the fuck out. Kama Sutra did a survey of 141 YouTubers, and this article was researched and written by Mike Ross.
Do you know any of the YouTubers or how big they were?
Or Mike Rose, I'm sorry.
Mike
No,
Rowe?
he did not specifically name any of them
Oh, okay.
because,
All right.
as you'll see, the nature of the survey kind of necessitates them all be anonymous.
Gotcha.
So those surveyed were split into two groups: those with under 5,000 subscribers and those with over 5,000 subscribers.
Oh,
And in that group includes those that have more than 1 million subscribers. So this actually goes all the way up and down the YouTube spectrum.
yep.
So the first question in the survey is, have you ever received money directly or indirectly from a game developer or publisher for recording videos of their game?
Can I guess as to the percentage of?
Absolutely.
And
So, and remember, it's split into two groups. So under 5,000, how many of you think
then over 5,000.
exactly?
So I think over 5,000. I'm going to say 60% of them said yes to
That
accept
they had received money?
that they had received money. Yes.
Okay, and how about under 5?
What do you think?
100%.
Yeah, I would say probably closer to like 80% have said yes.
A higher percentage, but here's
Under
the thing.
5,000, you think it's 80%?
But here's the thing.
80% have said yes to accepting money.
But advertisers wouldn't go in the first place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not if they would take it, but have they?
Yeah, have
Oh,
they.
okay. So have they? Then I would say
It's a lower percentage.
2%.
What are the numbers?
James is actually bang on. Okay, so 2% of YouTubers with under 5,000 subscribers have taken money from publishers.
Yeah.
Over 5,000 gets a little different.
Yeah.
21% said yes.
Okay.
5% said they have when it was offered, and 5% preferred not to answer. So if you consider those being a yes, that equates to 31%
30%.
of YouTubers with over 5,000 subscribers have accepted money from publishers. Now here's the and then the obvious conclusion you can draw from that is that the more subscribers a YouTube channel has, the more likely it is that they have accepted money from a publisher to make content.
Well, because they would go to them because they have a large subscriber base and
Exactly.
so forth. I'm actually surprised it's only 30%. I assumed
Yeah.
it'd be higher. But it also makes sense because advertisers haven't really caught on to this yet. They're still sort of catching on to the YouTube space.
Yep.
So.
So here's the more interesting part of the survey. The second question is,
Sorry.
what is your opinion of YouTubers charging money to developers for video coverage, and is it ethical? So, under 5,000, how many do you guess said yes or no?
Under 5,000, how many said is it ethical?
Yes.
I'd probably say all of them. Wouldn't it be all
You
of them?
would think it would be ethical for them to do it
No.
under 5,000?
No, wait. Is it yes to the fact that it's ethical that they don't take money or they do take
If
money?
they say
Yeah,
yes,
sorry.
they say it's okay. They think it's okay.
We'll just say, is it ethical or isn't it ethical? How many people under 5,000 say it is ethical?
I see what you're saying.
I'm gonna say 7%.
You okay, Bruce?
Yeah.
7%.
You got a fart?
Say it's okay.
And then
Over 5,000?
yes, how many over 5,000 do you think would say it's ethical to accept money?
Would say it's
This is
ethical.
tough because there's a big difference between 5,000 subscribers and a million.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Especially in terms of money.
Yeah.
I would say that I'd say only like 10% say that it's ethical.
Over 5,000, only 10?
That's what I would say.
Okay.
I would actually. That's what I hope.
Yeah. So here's one of the most interesting results of this survey. Under 5,000, only 36% of YouTubers said that it was ethical to accept money.
Guys,
Over 5,000, 40% said it was ethical to accept money.
Gotcha. So
went
they're taking
up.
the money, but they feel dirty.
No, no.
Basically.
Oh,
yeah, but the interesting part is whether you're big or small, according to this survey, the same number of people think it's ethical to accept money, which is 40%.
Gotcha.
Around
I
40.
see what you're saying.
Okay.
So no matter how big you are, the opinion of whether or not you should accept money seems to not change.
So this is interesting because we had a very similar discussion with a game publisher, sort of like a retailer, who brought up that question. They said, if you're going to play someone's game, he gave the example of PewDiePie. So he says, so what if PewDiePie plays this game or Yogscast plays this game and it got exposure that it would have normally not got? Shouldn't you, as the person who made the video, be entitled to some of the money? My personal opinion is whatever, because we get the same paycheck every week, so it doesn't really matter.
We're in a unique position.
We're in a very unique position. So I remember this story coming out around Minecon where the someone else want to play? Sorry.
Oh yeah, I'll play.
Go ahead.
Should have picked a game with a controller.
It does actually use a controller. It's just controller's not plugged in.
I like mouse and keyboard.
I don't plug it in.
No, but the guys, I forget exactly the story, but it was something along the lines of the Yogscast guys were saying, "Yo, Notch, Minecraft wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for us." And obviously, this is verbatim.
Yeah.
This is exactly how they said it.
Air quotes while you're doing it.
Right. And so they're like, "Hey, we're kind of." I forget exactly what the drama was about or anything, but like, that brought the argument. It's like, well, would Minecraft be as big as it is today if it wasn't for guys like the Yogscast, CNNers, people who did the video side of it? And Notch is just kind of like, whatever. But this specific retailer was asking us, like, how do you feel about that? And personally, I'm indifferent. I don't think we should be making money in that sort of way, but I don't know. What do you think?
Personally?
Any one of you? I'd like to know.
I think the interesting thing is, at what point does gaming content become advertisement? Because if you could
Like
argue,
advertorial?
yeah, maybe.
Right.
I mean, if it's so, if you're not voicing your opinion, if you're just playing a game, and you're like, oh, this part's really cool, oh, this part sucks, is that an ad, or is it just video of you playing a game and enjoying the product? But does it become an advertisement when you start selectively screening your output? So
Right.
if you're like, oh, this part's so fun, and during the bad parts you're just kind of tactfully silent, does it become an advertisement then?
Right. I think the argument right now is that I haven't done enough research on it right now. The whole Total Biscuit put up a video and Yogcast put a video. I haven't had time to watch it all, but I think the argument is coming down to lump sum payment up front to promote a game versus sharing in the ad rev for that game. And which one is better, which one is worse, I don't know. I mean, that's all different. I would rather have the video maker be kind of taken out of the equation, and almost like how you can do the buy music on iTunes. If you're using copywritten music, if you're using a copywritten game, obviously, I mean, it doesn't help the publisher to strike you, but if there is a buy button, let's example Call of Duty, you're playing Black Ops 2 and there's an Amazon link to buy Call of Duty on your specific platform, and that person buys the game because of your video, you as the video creator should probably get a cut of that. That's probably the best way to look at it.
Well, my big thing is we're forgetting that maybe without the game, we wouldn't know who this person is.
That's a very good
That's
point.
entirely possible. You're using another platform to promote yourself,
Right.
and you are thus making money off of that platform. And so, I mean, like, we play a ton of games, but obviously there's games like Sin Episode Emergence that like maybe we wouldn't be where we were at now if that game didn't come out.
Sure.
Does that mean the
We owe
game
them.
owes us, or we owe the game? Like, what? I think it should be a quiet, mutually beneficial kind of thing. You know, I mean, if we're all going to not be greedy about it,
Yeah.
we'll be like, wow, this is awesome that this game is doing really well, and it's even better that it's also helping me do really well. Not this game is doing well because I did it and I made this game do well. It's like, well, what drew you to the game in the first place?
The strange thing about YouTube is that it's so organic that, like you just said with Sin Episode's a good example, because we would never have been pitched that by somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody would have been like, hey, come play Sin Episodes. You know,
Came
like,
out 10 years ago.
Yeah.
we got lucky.
zombie.
And then it ends up kind of being this, chicken or the egg thing where, oh, well, did we make the game or did the game make us?
Yeah.
And
Right.
then it's sort of like it just decides like on a revenue split. If they want to come to us and say, hey guys, we noticed you're playing the game. We don't want to strike your channel. However, we can just do a revenue split. So, you guys get 40% and we get 60% of every video you make with Sin Episodes Emergence. YouTube's a different market because at this point, it's just so random and so, like Happy Wheels with PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Right.
He just started playing that and that made it huge. And I'm sure Happy Wheels sold tons and tons of
But
copies.
Happy
No, that's the
Wheels
thing.
is
Is Happy
free.
Yeah, so that's actually you bring up a good point. There is, if Happy Wheels was a game you could buy, I'm sure would have made a lot of money.
Well, it was ad supported at some point, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
Well, I think it was like up on Newgrounds or whatever.
Oh no,
You play
it was on the dude's website. Actually, I remember it because he had this one game called like Divine Intervention that I played years ago, where he plays a priest who like kills a bunch of evil midgets.
Awesome.
It was okay, but Happy Wheels is like his opus, and he like made this thing, and it just spread like wildfire. And at some point, that's the rare situation where a guy who developed the game is not making any money off of it. So like example, a bunch of kids are making Call of Duty montages or whatever. Maybe that's not even a thing anymore. Who cares? But they're making,
If it isn't, can you let me know, because I have a channel that I need to delete.
Well, I'm saying kids are making thousands of dollars. Maybe there's like a big YouTuber out there and he's making $100,000 a year off of his Call of Duty gameplay videos. Activision doesn't need that money. That's nothing for them. PewDiePie is playing Happy Wheels and he's making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars off of Happy Wheels gameplay. This guy has made the game for free and it's out there. He's not seeing a dime of that. So that's there's these kind of weird case-by-case situations of like, where should the developer profit from this versus the creator of the video?
Well,
I
good.
I was just gonna say it's important not to take sides in any of it, because like this is a perfect example of how it goes and it changes. You have PewDiePie who's making a shit ton of money, and the guy who made Happy Wheels probably hasn't made that much money at all off of Happy Wheels. So should we just across the board say YouTubers have to get a piece of the game maker, or the game makers have to get a piece of the, because it doesn't always work that way. It's complicated.
Well, you said an interesting thing, Adam, that I think it resounds with kids, but then the more you think about it, the more you're like, huh. You said Activision doesn't need that money.
Right.
But the point of I guess the fact of the matter is Activision made the game. So regardless of whether or not they need the money, it's sort of the RIAA thing with like Lars Ulrich. It's like, well, they don't need the money, but they're owed it because they're Metallica, and it's
Right.
like, how much of an asshole do you want to be? Right.
You're making money off of their IP.
Yeah.
Which is how I've always looked at it, where it's like, I'm just happy that no one's striking our videos.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
this weird situation where shut up, Spool. It's this weird situation where like we're at the behest of the publishers to just say yes, it's okay, and they understand there is a mutual relationship there where they don't really video gameplay is so different from uploading a movie. To compare the two is kind of asinine, but you can make the comparison because this is someone's IP. Someone worked on this, and it is technically copyrighted material. And the fact that we're not getting strikes every day for exactly what we do, this giant legal gray area, we're very fortunate that we can make this sort of long form content. So, which is good, which I like. So I'm grateful for that. But at the end of the day, I respect and understand that it's their content, not ours.
Well, here's a question: how do you feel about transparency?
Yeah. I think that's a more interesting topic.
Would you rather? Do you want to? If it is the case, and we've kind of basically the conclusion we've come to is that it's almost necessary, right? That everyone needs to be on board with making money doing this somehow if they want to continue doing it.
Right.
Do you feel like it's an obligation of the person creating the content to reveal that they have been paid to make this content?
100%. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. And I think that's actually the beauty of YouTube is we've noticed guys like our viewers, they respond more positively when we're upfront with them.
Yeah.
And we say, here's a Mountain Dew commercial we made. Mountain Dew paid us originally to make this.
Yeah.
They rejected it.
Yeah.
Here it is.
But we never got the money for that, by the way.
Oh yeah, well we never got paid
Yeah,
for it.
no, we never
But
got
I mean that's the sad reality of this world is that you need to be paid for the work that you're doing as long as you want to keep making content that's free. And that's, I mean, honestly, that's my ultimate goal is to make this content as free as available and keep making it because people keep watching it. And I don't want to ever have to charge people to watch what I do because then I feel sad. I feel like a cam girl.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly YouTube, obviously all the ad revenue that people get from YouTube is supposed to be enough to support the creators on YouTube. And it can be when you have a lot of viewers, but that takes years to get to.
Yeah.
And I've had the conversation, I think it's like 2-3 times a week, somebody says, you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars on YouTube. Nobody ever believes me. And it's like every time you watch an ad on YouTube, you're giving that YouTuber what, I don't know, 10 cents, 7 cents,
Something like that,
So
yeah.
It's not much, but it adds up. It's sort of for the struggling creators that I think that it becomes more of a question of whether or not it's ethical. Because then if somebody comes to you and says, "We're going to give you $30,000 to play this game,"
Right.
And you're only making $5,000 a month on YouTube, then you're like, well, yeah, I need that money and I need to continue my job.
You
And
just said only $5,000 a month.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
and
How much does Bruce make?
that's sort of the thing with us is that none of that applies. We right now, even when we do think like this podcast thing, if we're doing it for money, if we get paid to do a live read or whatever,
Right.
we don't see that money
No.
personally. Machinima does, but we
Yeah.
don't.
Well,
So-
I mean, even going back, just to be 100% transparent with our audience and everyone, the reason why we have a channel and the reason why we're allowed to continue running a channel is we have these weekly meetings where they say, all right, your channel is almost breaking even in terms of what it costs to run. And so we try to upload more content. We want to make it good, obviously, and be true to what we do. But we're trying to break even or at least make money for the company so that they can say, you can keep doing what you're doing. That's ultimately what we're trying to find better ways of doing that. So obviously podcasts, other things, and you guys have been great. Obviously the audience, they have been very receptive to the content that we're making. We crossed 500,000 subscribers. That's fantastic. But as long as that keeps growing, we can just keep doing this.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's sad because we can't just quit our jobs and just do this all day because we need to pay the bill somehow. And ultimately, Machinima could say, if this channel's not making money, we'll cut it. It's gone. And so we're trying to make it profitable, and that's why we do a lot of the things that we do. We're trying to optimize the channel in a lot of ways, but at the same time make it so that it's stuff the audience likes.
Yeah.
Like this podcast. Sorry.
So
do you
Damn it.
eventually anticipate a looming shitstorm in regards to transparency about YouTubers, it coming out that they have a lot of paid content that actually influenced the content of what they made? It's
I think the difference is influencing your opinion.
yeah, that's why
I think the beauty of YouTube is it's all personality driven, and when we're past the days of the kind of editorial days of like, this is the best game reviewer in the world. It's like it almost doesn't matter who reviews the game or what score they give it or whatever. It's like people attach themselves to the personality,
Yeah.
and that's what they want. That's what YouTube is, and so if someone is saying, typically they're like, I hate first-person shooters. First-person shooters suck. They're the worst thing in the world. I only like to play Minecraft. Minecraft's the best thing in the world, blah, blah. And then Call of Duty gives them $2 million to say Call of Duty's great, and they're like, oh, you know what? I love Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Then you go, then that person has lost all credibility.
Yeah.
And once you lose your credibility, you have nothing. And I think as long as you're transparent and as you're clear to your audience, this is what I like, this is what we do, and say, I mean, maybe there's a better way of handling that. Where you go, hey guys, look, I'm struggling right now, but Call of Duty gave me $2 million, so
I'm gonna suck their dick.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could probably lose a good portion of your audience by doing that. So it's really up to you how you want to sell out, and that's up to the YouTube individual. But at the end of the day, people are trying to run this thing like a business, and it's still, like Bruce said, it's organic and it's changing every day. And so, like what the Yogscast is doing, or like what Total Biscuit is doing, or even what we're doing, will change every day. But as long as people are upfront about it, I think the audience will respect you.
We hope.
We
They
hope.
don't. No one respects us.
Anyway, actually, so are we done with that topic? I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about it. It's such a downer.
About 15
I want to talk
minutes.
about something really exciting.
Well, I
really
mean,
fun
just
though.
in closing, I think the money is necessary if you want it to continue happening for free to you, right, the viewer. But then the other side of it is that it's the obligation of, I think, the content creators to be transparent about it, to understand that the best thing they can do is be honest with their audience.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and I know we always pose this question like on the Daily Show, like, what do you think? But honestly, to everyone listening and watching right now, what is the best method? How do you feel? Like, if someone you watch and enjoy is making money, does that upset you?
Yeah.
And if they do, are you cool with them just telling you up front, or is it, if you're making money? Because I see a lot of people where, like, even if you have an ad on your video, they react negatively. Like, how dare they do this? And it's, at the end of the day, it's kind of sad where you're like, I do have to make money some way,
Yeah.
in some, like, to support what I do as long as it's free. That might change with the YouTube tip jar. Who knows?
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
that's
know.
true.
But real question, I'm actually really curious. I would like some feedback on how you guys
Us
feel about this.
specifically.
Yeah,
Us, because you are our audience, and we don't want to upset you.
Right.
So.
Speaking of which,
Butt plugs. IG butt plugs.
you should buy Mountain Dew. No, I don't
We're
know.
selling butt plugs now.
Oh, what?
No, we don't have
Speaking
any
of
butt
what?
plug yet.
No, I was going to try to do a fake advertisement, but I'm getting lost in this game that Bruce is playing. It's
Lifeless Planet.
very pretty.
Land, it really
Lifeless.
is.
How much
Yeah,
did
I
they
like
pay
it.
us to play this?
absolutely nothing.
Oh.
It dropped you right down, in the smack down in the middle of Arizona, and now you got to find your way out.
I like how you still have to find oxygen, though.
You turned it on.
No, I want to change to a lighter subject. So we helped Bruce move this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Was that a lighter subject? You guys worked your asses
That
off.
was, it was kind,
Well,
of an
you did too.
kind of an experience. So
It was the best kind of move,
it
I
was-
think.
it
The
was
ladies
the most.
in attendance enjoyed all the sweaty
The
guys.
best kind of move. We had some ladies watching us move shit.
Yeah, they watched.
And,
I played Duran at one point.
You did.
And he
Yep.
was
True.
Lawrence was basically that '80s guy.
Yeah.
Only instead of a giant boombox, he just had a phone which was playing Duran in his pocket.
So for those who don't know, Bruce
my
has
shirt
lived in
up
the
around my
same
midriff.
apartment for what, 7 years?
6 years. 6 years.
6
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
He's lived in this like.
I love
ultimate-
it.
There's a bachelor pad. It's like a 3-bedroom on the west side near the beach.
Star Wars posters on the
I was
wall.
gonna say Star Wars posters.
He had a couple. He had like 3 couches in the living room.
All free. All the furniture was free.
He had like a weight set.
Wow, yeah, you bet.
he's
I lift
so
the weights
proud of it.
3. Well, yeah, I got everything for free.
I don't think I've ever seen a dish in that place.
I eat everything. I eat it all out. As soon as I eat out of the Panda Express box, I throw it away.
How old are you?
32.
So Bruce has been in college for the last
Boy,
decade.
the best times.
Eats dinner off of old Aqua Teen Hunger Force DVDs.
And so living in LA, if you live on the west side, it's a bit pricier. And this place, I believe, is rent controlled.
No, it's not.
It wasn't rent controlled,
No,
but
no.
the rent was relatively.
Oh, so cheap.
$1
Are you
million.
kidding? $1 million
it's
a
pretty
week.
affordable for 3 people to move in. So
It's fantastic.
Bruce kind of surprised us when he said, "I'm moving out, and I need to move to this new place." So he sent out the email and asked us, "Hey, can you guys help me move?"
Well, he
this weekend.
No, I found out. I think it was on the way back from RTX.
Oh,
He
okay.
was like, by the way, guys, can you help me move next weekend? And we were like, sure,
Right,
no
yeah.
problem.
So the idea was like, oh, we're just gonna help Bruce move. That's not a big deal. He's got I've seen his place. He's got a desk and a bed and a couch. No big deal.
I have way more than that.
Yeah. And so,
And a drawer full of Star Wars.
yeah.
books.
So
They're all in the trash now.
And so we get there and we meet Bruce's roommate, who we met a couple times, but he starts pulling stuff out. And I'm like, Bruce, why is your roommate moving stuff? He goes, oh, he's moving in with me.
Yeah.
I'm like, ha ha ha. funny. Roommates don't move together, and you know
They did.
They do, and they hold hands the whole time.
I mean,
And
hold hands.
so then it went from we're moving Bruce's stuff to his roommate's stuff, and he goes, oh no, don't worry. He has like 2 things. 2 things became 4 things. 4 things became 6 things. 6 things became 24 things, and ended up becoming, I believe, one of the most entertaining moves of my life.
It
Why
was
is
a
that?
comical. It was like a cartoonish move because at one point we were moving weights. Lawrence and I were moving 45-pound weights.
You guys looked so
We
good
would
doing
just
it.
we were just
Boy,
walk
did you look
to the
good.
van, pull out weights, and then carry the weights to the new place where weights are gonna go.
At one, so Bruce rented a truck, which is very smart, like a good size U-Haul.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's good.
I tried to get a
Had
larger
a
truck.
mom's attic.
I tried to get a larger truck, but I couldn't.
Right.
Because I wanted to get that 17-foot truck. We had to make 2 trips. I really apologize.
No,
for
no,
that.
it's
I did
okay.
not
I mean,
wanna do
no, so
that.
everything would have fit. We're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is fine. But at one point, we go into one of his roommates' rooms. They're like, what do we need to move in here? And Bruce goes, oh, nothing at all. His other roommate walks in and goes, oh, no, I'm taking this bed with me.
Yeah.
And even Bruce looked shocked, like,
Apparently
Well, I
they
was
agreed
shocked. I
upon-
yelled at him. I was like,
Yeah.
what are you talking? You have a couch and a bed. Which one do you want? He was like, I want both. And I was like, you're living in a loft. Well, how are you going to put all this bullshit in a loft?
and so there's a giant bed frame.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, okay, this is like IKEA, you know, we'll just take it. No, bolts. This thing is bolted
Well,
down.
we
to the
thought
ground.
it was bolted. We
Right.
thought it was bolted until I think someone hit it out of frustration, and then it just kind of popped, and then the frame,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, okay, you can hit it, and it'll loosen up.
It was sort of one of those things where, like, say you're like in the bottom of a submarine where it's slowly filling up with water.
Yeah.
But you found one small solution that would help you through this crisis.
Yeah.
So it's just a small victory, but you're still being, you know, covered
yeah.
in water.
Yeah.
Found half a candy bar in your pocket.
That's
like,
that was just like it was just one crisis at a time.
Yeah.
And we're just like, all right, we took it down, thank God. But it just started adding up and piling up. And before we knew it, we just had a pile of things. I
Cool.
believe there was
The
a
big orange couch.
A big orange couch.
Big orange couch.
And so Bruce's roommate has been sleeping on like the world's ugliest couch.
Hold on,
From
only
what?
for this time and any time that isn't 1968, maybe?
It's just the most orange, disgusting thing ever. And it broke into, I believe, 52 pieces.
Yeah, it came apart. It came apart a lot.
It kept multiplying at some point. I don't know. And
Well, we ended up throwing it up into his loft area.
Actually,
because I was so upset.
There was a lot of stuff that just got thrown over the edge. We're like, what? Are we taking this mattress? Yeah, we're taking it over the edge. Fuck it.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I forgot. That was fun.
Oh, what about this couch? Yeah, that's going. Fuck it over the edge.
oh, okay. And yeah. So before we get too far into the story, I do want to mention the couches.
Uh-huh.
So Bruce has 3 couches, and he's like, "Oh, we're only taking 2."
Oh, thank
We're like,
God.
Okay, yeah. Never in my life have I ever carried a couch that weighed that much.
I told you it was
Was
heavy.
it
I
the
told
leather
you.
one with the testicles?
Well, no. So that one was just big and
Okay.
retarded.
And it had testicles.
Well, it has these pieces of like leather
Yeah.
flaps that like just get caught on
God.
everything. But he had this other one that like I swear is from the 40s.
Yeah.
But it's one of those ones where
No,
it's like,
that couch is only like hold on. That couch is like 8 years old.
Okay,
flower
all right,
one?
okay.
Yeah, the
but
flower
how many
one's only
people
8 years
died
old.
on it?
Nobody's died. Look,
That you're aware
not
of.
Not to mention, also, some of you guys have slept on that couch.
Yes, of
when
course.
you've stayed at my place.
Certainly not
I-
me.
And it was very comfortable.
Certainly not me.
I'm not denying the necessity of the couch. I'm just saying,
Bruce gets very
my
defensive
God,
of
that
this
thing was
couch.
heavy.
It's way too heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
Why didn't you leave the really heavy one behind?
Oh,
Because I like it.
can I also add real quick that at Bruce's new place, there's 2 steps of stairs that go up
Uh-huh.
into his entry, through his front door,
Right.
into his entryway, and the stairs immediately go down again.
Right, well,
so
you
it's
also-
just 2 stairs that go up for no reason, and there's a pillar.
Yes.
A giant pillar that
Right in
just
the
blocks
middle.
the
It
way.
supports the weight of the loft or
I-
whatever. I don't
once-
know.
Once again, not calling out the integrity of anything in this situation, but we
very nice part.
Fuck that pillar up.
Oh my
Getting
God.
the couch through. There's just.
That's
did you-
all right.
Have you painted it yet? Is it still just?
I haven't even noticed. I walked in that place. I'm so pissed off about that fucking
was a-
orange couch.
There was a point where we were pushing that leather couch and just shoving it through,
Yeah.
scraping it by this pillar.
Yeah.
I think Adam was like shoving his elbow
And,
against
and
it.
we
Just,
said,
"Ah!"
we said we don't care.
We're just sacrificing parts of our body
Yeah.
to get this thing.
Cut
through.
it down.
I felt so bad because we got that thing through and there's just this huge scrape and I'm like, Bruce is gonna be pissed and James like, whatever,
No,
we're done.
I don't care. I'm not much obviously on material possessions in the sense that I don't care if my stuff is damaged. I don't care because I mean it's usually free and also it's material.
Oh.
I can always replace it. It's not a big deal. It's no big. So even if you guys fuck up my pillar, I was just very appreciative to have a bunch of strong dudes moving my stuff because I could not have done that.
But
on
friendship
my
is
own.
forever.
Friendship is forever.
it also costs
By the way,
about
I'm
a Jersey
moving
Mike's.
I'm moving next week.
You're moving
so you're
away?
gonna have to help me.
You're moving away again?
Yeah,
I fucked
sorry.
up the pillar. I gotta move.
Oh, yeah.
and
the pillar's all fucked.
The ultimate con is that Bruce didn't actually live in that place. He's just started a moving business.
Oh,
where
yeah.
He just gives us $20 every time we
Yeah,
finish.
it's like starving students, but it's us.
That's right.
Anyway, so Bruce's move, one of the most
kinda-
memorable moments of my life.
Cartoonish is what it was.
It was cartoonish.
When we were done and we were leaving to go get lunch, his roommate showed up again and he had a surfboard. And I was like, how many things that don't fit in normal things do you have?
Oh, you also left out Bruce's giant replica solid iron
Oh, yeah.
Spartan
yeah.
Spartan
He had a
shield.
giant
Yeah.
Spartan shield. His roommate had a 1,000-pound metal filing cabinet that I think he stole from a library. And we're gonna film a children's show on that orange couch. And at some point, someone's gonna get slimed.
We already have the intro song for the children.
Big orange couch.
Oh, so the whole time, James and I are singing "Big Orange Couch."
Sit
And like-
down on the couch
and
and,
then,
drink it a bud.
And Bruce's roommate's going like, "Oh, that's kind of funny." And Bruce goes, "No, they're making fun of you."
Yeah.
You're not allowed to laugh.
Oh yeah, I said that, didn't I?
He did it to his face.
That's right. I
The
was, like,
set changes every week. It's a big orange couch.
I was like, yeah, they're making fun of you because we had to move the fucking couch.
Yeah, looks like Sashta, tastes like fun.
The one that should
Big
be in the
orange couch.
trash right now.
Yeah,
Should be in the trash. It's a big orange couch.
Oh, jeez.
it was just so many things went wrong.
It was fun.
was-
We had a great time.
Had a good-
10 out of 10. Would
Yeah.
move again.
Went and got some sub sandwiches afterwards.
Yeah,
I
it was
think,
real good.
Lawrence and I had some froyo.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
you guys got froyo.
We
huh?
got the build your own.
Hey,
like,
don't forget, I paid each of you $20.
Yeah, we
I
made
spent
money.
every dollar.
Yeah, I made
$20. All right.
I got an AMC gift card out of it too.
I did
Oh,
too.
yeah, we
And
also
you guys got
got
AMC
Yeah.
gift cards from my other roommate Jackie. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, profitable weekend.
That was very cool.
Got a
so,
free workout. Got $20.
You got a workout. You got $20 and a gift card.
Got some froyo. Got to handle a big old orange couch.
So with that wonderful story told, I think we have time for one more subject.
Okay.
All right.
Get into it.
At
Lawrence.
least we got a half an hour. So
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Trying to decide which one is better.
How would you decide which one is better?
Just one that has more interesting discussion. So I like this one a lot.
Okay.
Maybe it relates more personally to me. But
Anime boobs.
Yes. What do you
Does
guys
it
think
matter
about-
if they're big? Because we could draw them any size.
Actually,
DDR,
no, we had
is
a
it
very
coming
stimulating
back?
discussion about drawn women today at lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Well, wait,
not
hold
gonna
on.
work
I don't
at
know.
all.
Hold on,
Stimulating.
are we actually going to discuss that?
No, we're not.
Oh, damn it.
Sorry. Now, the International 2014, the year's biggest Dota
You
2
wanna
tournament that I don't give a crap about.
Yeah, you love Dota.
No, I don't.
Come on,
No,
Lawrence.
so here's the thing. Here's the subject. I have
Dota or Dota?
Dopa.
fine, I'm already-
Sure.
I have for most of my life been a huge enthusiast of competitive gaming and esports. You know,
Sports.
I
would
Get
I-
sport.
What are you getting at?
I'll get there eventually. It's a long wind up. Settle in,
Oh,
boys.
line up for the Dota. All right.
on.
Fine. Since Adam's a baby,
I'm not being a
shortcut it.
baby. I'm just.
Baby Adam.
You started telling me a life story, and I started to not care. I want to care about your subjects.
You said we should have more stories.
I want stories, but your story was like in a world from long ago in the land of Dallas.
Well, I'm sorry, I
That
have a
doesn't
little
suck.
talent called storytelling.
I think Lawrence is getting to the $10 million for the international. Is that what we're talking about?
No, actually,
Did
no.
we talk about that last time?
Yeah, we
People
did.
Fell
This is-
asleep.
This is a separate thing. Basically, this is a big deal on the internet, but I don't care. Like this is the first time in my life that
Oh,
there's been
yeah.
a gaming trend that I have been unable to follow due to my life circumstance. So it's basically this is the first time I've hit the generation gap in gaming.
All right.
And you know, growing up, I always kind of wondered in the back of my head, is it ever going to happen? Is there going to be a game that I'm too old to play or get involved in? And it's happening right now. League and Dota and MOBAs in general are just too thick for me as a working adult that plays a lot of different games to get into. So it makes me feel a little sad, but I guess it's inevitable. Do you guys feel anything about that? Being unable to follow the world's most popular game?
What are we feeling?
Well,
What's the story?
How does it
basically-
make you feel to be left
Yeah.
outside of the world's most
Oh,
popular game?
He's saying there's a generation gap in the sense that we don't have enough time to play those sorts of games. Now, you should talk about this. I'm going to go get Joel because Joel's the only one that plays League of Legends
Well,
on a regular basis.
we totally brought this up last week, where we said we don't have time to play one game.
Yeah.
I understand. I mean, if we were a League of Legends channel, League of the Legend, League of I can't fucking talk right now, or a Dota channel or whatever, a MOBA channel, sure, we could play one game, but we don't have that. We get bored.
Boredom isn't my issue. I can tell you exactly what my issue is.
Go on.
That is a game with no end and no pretense of an end. It is a game designed to be played basically in perpetuity. Like even more so, like even with Call of Duty multiplayer or Battlefield multiplayer. I'll never get there, but there's a chance I might rank out my character all the way or unlock everything or do something.
No, there's not.
That's impossible in League of Legends. It's designed to be impossible because it's designed to be like not a one-off experience, but a repeatable.
Wait,
one-off
it's impossible to do what in League of Legends?
Well, okay, hold on. Let's get Joel to speak. So
Bring Joel in.
the discussion topic that I posed, because it's a little more personal to me, not to you, but the idea that MOBAs are kind of not for our generation. Because there's a lot of teenagers and maybe college students that really get into this, and this is their life right now. You know, League of Legends Finals, it's filled with like teens and post-teens. Not so much the 30-year-old.
But the argument against that is sitting right next to me because
I'm 32.
Joel plays it.
So,
Right.
So wait. State your full hypothesis, and I will refute all of you and tell you why I'm right.
I have no.
This is not a
No,
statement.
hey, I was just a joke, Lawrence. Calm down.
Big orange couch.
It's so nasty.
So
Don't want to touch
my thought is that,
Right.
for me at least, this is me experiencing the very first generation gap that I've experienced in gaming. Until now, I've been able to follow and understand every popular trend, but Dota 2 and to a lesser extent League are hyper complicated to the point that I can't enjoy them.
I understand that, and it is a daunting game to get into. I, however, would argue the opposite. And the reason that I like League so much as a 32-year-old man who has things going on in his life is that League is a lot less complex than Dota. And Heroes of the Storm, which I also love, is a lot less complex than League. The reason I love these games is because, unlike RPGs, which I played a ton of growing up, and even stuff like Skyrim, which I would consider an RPG still, and World of Warcraft, I can sit down for League and play a 30-minute game and be done. I can choose to play a different game mode and be done in 15 minutes, and then that's my gaming quotient for the night. Now, if I hang on one second, if I choose, sorry, go ahead. No,
I was
Bruce.
just going to say, but wasn't the first month of playing League of Legends the worst for you?
No, it
Because
was-
you were getting your ass kicked over and over and over and over?
It was absolutely terrible. Yeah, totally, it was terrible. But I don't think that it takes as much time to get into League of Legends as it would take for me to get good at competitive multiplayer for like fucking Battlefield. That would be a worse slog for me. Now, a game that I would love, like Skyrim, which I fucking love. That Skyrim and World of Warcraft were the first two games for me that I experienced a generation gap in, because I don't have time to devote anymore in my life to sitting down and playing a 60-hour sit-down game. Even though I've actually played more time of League of Legends, but with a game like Skyrim or WoW, you need to have multiple hour play sessions in order to really get into the game, and I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, so what you're feeling, you're actually making it you have a very selective choice with it being a MOBA. Do you play the multiplayer in Call of Duty every year?
I'll play for like 3 or 4 hours and that's it.
Okay.
I
So
think mechanically
do
Call
you
of
feel
Duty
kind of
doesn't
left
feel
out?
right.
Like, if I were to talk about like, oh yeah, they totally fixed the ACR or anything like that, would you feel kind of like,
No,
I don't
because I
They
understand?
didn't fix the ACR. Are you crazy?
What's an ACR?
Like, I get...
some
It's like a
kind of
kind of camera.
I don't know. Who cares?
It's a gun camera.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up with like Counter-Strike, and to me Call of Duty is just like a simplified baby.
Yeah, but Counter-Strike didn't come out every year.
Right, but
I'm saying because the same thing you're saying is how I feel about Call of Duty, where it's like I can't keep up anymore. I've been playing less and less since like Modern Warfare 2 came out. Or like I have not it's getting to the point where it's just not even touching the multiplayer.
I feel like part of the issue, and not necessarily for Lawrence, but part of the issue is also because of how large those games are and how many people play them from all experience levels. Someone who you've never known in your life to ever play games is playing League of Legends like a lot, and they spent a lot of money on it. It's like surprising, and then you're like, I play more games than you. I beat Blue Dragon. It's like why are you playing this game that I am not actually playing? So it's I think it's jarring. I don't think that this is the first time it's happened, Lawrence, to you. I just think it might be the first time it's being smashed in your face.
Yeah. Do you
So
feel like left out?
Do you resent the fact
Yeah.
that it's happening and it's leaving you behind?
No, I don't resent it. I mean, I expected this day to come, but like when I see the League of Legends World Finals or whatever, and there's people losing their minds, and I'm like, I have no idea what's happening in this game right now.
Yeah, I think also part of it is also conditioning yourself to appreciate that kind of game or a different kind of game. Because like for me, like I like watching Battlefield because so much shit's happening. But if I watch Call of Duty, it feels boring. Or even when we were watching Adam play Halo 2, I was like, this is fucking boring. Everyone's using the battle rifle, and they're doing the exact same thing. You can't tell one person
Set the
from the
MLG.
next.
That was the point.
And that's how my kind of vision of League of Legends is. When I watch it, I'm like, it's like watching some crazy Korean guy play StarCraft, because it's just like, what is happening? And it's over.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's also, that's one of the things too. Like, I think to our play style, when we play games like this, Lifeless Planet or whatever, like our simulators, because we kind of have a narrative. We always kind of create a story for like shitty games. Like, oh, go back and watch the first Sins episodes, Emergence episode. Nothing that happens in that game is what we're talking about. We're like, we made up a story that went along with it. We can't do that with League of Legends.
But that's also, well, you could if you were playing.
Yeah,
If the three of you
I think
sat down
if
and
we
played
were
it,
funny.
No. Okay, but if the three of you sat down and played it for like a live stream, you would make up that narrative for that game. I agree that if you sat down and played it by yourself, you would hate it and be bored. I hated it for the first month. The only reason I played it is because a guy at the company, like, forced me to sit down and play it and get through that shitty hellish month.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you sat down and played Sins episode Emergence episode 1 by yourself, you would hate it.
I think
yeah.
I think you would also, like we were saying, everyone's already playing it. It's already huge. Who would you find to go into that to experience with you along the way? It would just be you being frustrated, which isn't fun generally in a game, unless there's someone there egging you along. Now, if there's a community, like, so we play Battlefield, right? And Battlefield is difficult, but I don't think it's so obvious when someone is good or amazing at Battlefield. Generally, it's like, well, they're cheating or something like that. but like League of Legends, I think is the kind of game where if someone knows what the fuck they're doing, they're going to obviously look like they know what they're doing in this game.
I
And
would
there's no
argue,
worse.
as somebody who doesn't play Battlefield, when I was watching y'all play Battlefield when it came out, I know that if I were to get in the game, I would be able to tell who knows what they're doing and who doesn't. And I would be the person who doesn't know what they're doing, continually shot at like their spawn points. I'm so fucking frustrated, and I would hate it.
But the irony is that we don't know what we're doing either, and we would look good to you.
I don't know. I feel like Bruce, you can tell when someone's doing well at
Well,
Battlefield,
you can
right?
tell when somebody's doing well because they're getting kills, but the I guess the catch is when they're doing bad, you don't really know. 'Cause
Well-
at least you're staying like you're probably staying.
That's-
Yeah, but there's
that's
also
how
no there's no overhead map cam. Like in Battlefield, you can be in buildings and running around, and it's harder to track all the players at the same time.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I mean, that's how I feel when we went to the first Dota 2 tournament. It was like a Gamescom, and I was like, we're gonna go here and do some like color commentary. Check it out. I was so fucking lost. I didn't know what was going on, and like some demon lord would like throw a spectral beam, and then people would cheer and be like, was that good?
My spool has a
Spool,
has
get
a
in
part-
Cool, talking to that microphone over there.
I'm talking to Lawrence's mic.
Yeah. What do
Go
you
ahead.
want? What do you want, spool?
I always compared like esports to regular sports in that if you don't know what's happening, the same thing with the normal sport. Like if you sit down and watch soccer
Yeah.
and you don't know any rules of soccer,
Yeah.
you're not going to care about it nearly as much as somebody who's been playing it or doing it or whatever for your whole life. That's how I don't usually care about esports because I don't play or understand most of those games. So. And I also don't care about real sports as much because I don't
Is
play
it-
But
Is
I think that's a great analogy, and I would agree with you. Like, you know, I hated football when I was a kid, and it took me actually watching a lot of football to get to A, be interested in it, and B, understand what was going on the field. And even now, I think a lot of stuff, like when they call plays, I'm a little confused by some of the stuff. But having said that, I think the analogy really works well because I'm a fairly casual gamer of certain esports games. And there are like people who go play flag football on the weekends, and like they are enthusiasts in the same way.
Well, now hold on. I have played League of Legends. I haven't played Dota yet. And I played League of Legends no, I won't. For a couple of months, and I played it when it first came out. So I know how to play the game. I know what's going on. I also know how to play StarCraft, and I've tried watching StarCraft. I hate it. It bores the shit out of me, and I know exactly what's going on in the game. I know what makes it good, what makes it bad. But the problem is that I just don't like watching it. I think Lawrence's point, and I think where you and I identify with this, is that we both feel old. It makes us feel old when we are watching something and we can't figure out why we should like it, and we don't.
No, I think that's just different strokes for different. I fucking hate when y'all play Battlefield and Halo and Call of Duty. Like that's to me that's
thumbs out, huh?
Like I'm sorry, I work at Machinima and I should support Respawn. Respawn 2 years ago was the most obscure, boring, terrible shit I could possibly imagine watching, and for me, I'm sure the Respawn audience felt the same way about World of Warcraft videos, which I totally understood what was going on, and I loved watching raid videos, and it was really interesting to me.
I mean, but I could see the thing is that I can watch any other game time. I can watch anything else except for League, because it was boring when I played it. So
You weren't playing with me though.
you know what? You're right. I wasn't playing with a team. Maybe I should play with Joel.
Maybe it's time to play some Heroes of the
I don't
Storm.
know. Well, I think
Well,
at this point, and this is the same thing I've said a million times over and over. I think the gaming industry is pretty badass right now because there are so many options out there, and the fact that we're having this discussion of like, well, I like watching professional first-person shooters, but I don't like watching professional MOBAs. Like, this is the fucking world we live in. Like, this is awesome. Like, you can actually
and
have
more than
that
that,
choice.
you're getting paid right now to say those things. This is also a job, which is stupid.
I know. I always go back and I'm like, I really wish one of my ancestors who's like on a boat or like in a gulag or something, for a brief moment on their deathbed, was given like a look into the future of like, this will be your great grandson. I'm sitting there being like, yeah, fucking video games and stuff. And they're just going, I should have killed myself. Because it's like we're such pampered babies, but at the same time, yeah, it's freaking awesome. I like that.
Lawrence, have we made you feel better at all?
Yeah, you're not old. You just
Wrong.
don't have an eye for it. You're wrong. So you feel better?
No.
I never said that the game was bad.
No, we
What?
don't say that.
No,
I
I'm
wouldn't say
again.
that.
I thought we were all like teasing each other and having good fun.
Yeah.
Is that not
Joel.
the case?
I don't-
Joel, you're not allowed to tease.
I'm not.
So-
Your
Lawrence-
teases are hurtful.
So Lawrence believes that if a man draws a woman sexy, that makes you
That's true.
kind of gay for that guy.
Yeah, he thinks that means that you're seeing that man's interpretation of a woman.
Yeah.
Thus, you're gay.
Wait, is this something that you believe?
This was an actual discussion we had at lunch today.
Was not
I was
remotely
at
my
lunch
point.
today.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, but
you-
he defended it though.
yeah, two like.
No. My
What?
my
Go on,
point,
explain yourself. Sorry.
Yes. My point was, it's amusing how often guys use material that involves no women or only tangentially involves women to become sexually aroused.
Like
And
what?
they don't realize that
Like,
that's
It's funny
really
because
much
Lawrence is
longer.
referring to all the hentai he looks at.
And normal
Oh.
pornography.
He's like, oh, how all men download pictures of naked anime
Wait.
characters and jerk off to them and choke
Lawrence,
themselves?
That's silly.
That's
to me.
weird.
Like when you watch TV shows and laugh at the TV shows, do you think to yourself, "Wow, the character made an interesting decision or made a funny joke," or do you say to yourself, "Wow, I'm in love with the writer who wrote that scene"? Like when you watch Transformers and you're like laughing at Transformers, do you say to yourself, "I'm really laughing at Michael
No
Bay
one
right
laughs at
now"?
Transformers.
I believe Lawrence does.
a little bit.
I don't know where to go.
No, it's okay. So
I think it's just visual stimulation.
Is there a point, Lawrence, where you can just sit back and enjoy things, or do you feel like you overanalyze things too often? Like,
I
I mean,
overanalyze
so you have your pants around your ankles. You're looking at
And you have that belt
you're
around
looking
your
at
neck.
Death Note.
He's just standing up with his
Yeah,
pants
or
around
you're looking at Death Note hentai,
And you're
then-
thinking,
and you're
hold
thinking
on,
like,
Lawrence-san.
Hold on.
like Miyazaki-san made this. I just made that up. That's super racist. I know.
Lawrence-san.
Yeah, and you're like, I can't enjoy this because a man made this.
That's not what he's saying. That's
And
not
then
what
you-
he's
then
saying.
you watch Virgin
he's just bringing up.
Suicides.
He's just bringing up the fact that basically you were looking at the least woman you could ever look at because
Right.
it is a woman designed by a man.
No, I've
Or
seen
men.
some of the least
Or
women,
multiple men.
women back in Tranny Alley at the old building.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Those are some pretty non-womany women.
I don't know where to go.
I miss the old office.
I think
where
we've hit the dead end.
we basically lived on Tranny Alley. You're right. Like, there was a lot of women with big toes.
Boost.
Yeah.
How do you use the boost? What do you
Big
like? Double
Hit
tap?
spacebar, but I don't
Hold
know
it.
where to boost
Hold it.
to.
Boost across.
Yeah, hold it.
That's where I came from.
Jump and boost. Hold it. Jump and hold.
Boost across.
as usual, there's a nuance to my point that has been.
Oh,
lost in
sorry.
translation.
Okay.
What is
Sorry.
your-
Continue with your point.
What is your nuance?
We can move on to something else if you want.
You
No,
wanna
no,
sit
I
back
want
down,
to
Bruce?
hear
You
you.
wanna sit back down?
I wanna-
Oh, sorry. Man.
I don't know where to
that
go.
was death. Sorry, Lawrence. What? Yes, you're old. Next.
What were you saying?
Yeah.
Oh.
So okay. So
Oh no, I was
we're-
gonna say actually. I was not. Sorry, I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything like that. My moment was a lot sooner than yours. Was when Minecraft came out.
Yeah.
I immediately felt old.
Yeah.
I went, I don't get this. And they're like, it's Legos. Use your imagination. I'm like, I'd like to shoot things, please.
I've seen a lot of our viewers say exactly that comment though. That they in the comments they say, I don't get Minecraft, I don't
Oh.
understand it, and that makes me feel better. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
I really thought I was missing out there for a second.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that like require an objective to play. Like
Yo.
a lot of my friends.
You like
don't-
taking orders, huh?
No,
Don't
I
like
just like it to have a
Minecraft.
clear goal.
Yeah, like Minecraft Forever didn't have a clear goal.
Yeah.
Continue talking about Minecraft for 5 minutes. I'm gonna take a piss.
All right.
It's always
Where
happens. Such a weak
I
bladder.
enjoy Minecraft, but that's just because I can kind of go off and do whatever, and a couple of my other friends do. But then there's other ones who cannot play Minecraft at all because they need a clear goal They need to have like an
aren't there enough
in-game
servers and
control.
stuff now that they have like Hunger Games? And
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah,
a lot
I-
of goals and stuff.
I thought that way when I first watched the videos, and then when I actually logged into the game and I started playing it myself, I really enjoyed the sandbox aspect of it. And it's funny, my internet went down a few weeks ago, and I loaded up Minecraft and played it for the first time in over a year, and I was like, oh yeah, I do want to dig and go find some diamonds right now and like make an underground house and try and I like to change environments. That's what I like to do.
I think it's another issue of I ain't got time for that.
Yeah,
I gotta mark this off my list because I have a list of more games that I need to get through.
It makes me want to beat you up.
If I put Minecraft on that list, I'm never going to finish Dead Rising 3 or any other the other games that you
I
actually
attempted
complete.
to play Watch Dogs last night, and it like Lauren says, it's like folding laundry. I just like I installed like the latest like whatever visual mod for it. I'm like, cool, it looks so good. Fuck, I'm bored. It's okay. It's like it's an okay game.
It's nothing. I don't think it's ever anything against the game. Generally, it's like last night. I just started Wind Waker,
Yeah.
like universally critically acclaimed game for the third time.
Yeah.
And it's because at a certain point it opens up and it says go explore this world, and I can't, like, if I step away I can't come back.
To me, it's different kinds of exploration. I've told the story at work before. Right before Mass Effect 3 came out, I tried to play both Mass Effects, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna get like totally enveloped in a crazy space RPG. It's gonna be awesome. And I had 2 play sessions, and I got 6 hours into that game, and I was drinking heavily while I was playing, sure.
Yeah.
But I got to a point where I was roaming around the Citadel. I had no idea where I was. I didn't know where I was supposed to be going. I had been arbitrarily choosing dialogue paths, so I was like, I wasn't good or bad.
Yeah.
And I said, fuck this, I'm too confused, I'm not going to play it anymore.
Well, are you the kind of person though that won't Google where you are and won't Google
But
what you should
games
do?
like that are nearly impossible because you're like, I don't even remember where I was.
Right.
I don't know what search
I
terms
would
I would
actually
use.
argue
And also the driving in Mass Effect 1 is terrible.
That was
Anytime
pretty
you're
yeah,
in
no, it's
stupid-
horrible.
Well, you drive up a mountain, then you hit the booster and you fly out.
Oh my
I actually, my argument, I was intimidated by Mass Effect, and I played it and went, oh, this is super linear. Like, people like to argue that it's open and vast, and they're like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's
They-
hallways and there's objectives.
No, yeah,
and-
it's all choices. I mean, like
Yeah.
that. It was the same with KOTOR. KOTOR was the same way, and everybody thought that was some sort of like,
Yep.
revolution, and it was just a great RPG.
It's
just a really good
it's,
RPG.
I think it was like Adam Sessler said it the best way, where he's like, I understand that games are video games, but the more you hide that from me, the better they are.
Yep.
And so
Yeah.
it's like, yes, at the end of the day, you have to go from point A to point B because they have to get like dum-dums to play this game.
Right.
No offense to the dum-dums, I'm sorry.
There's somebody that, hey, I want to go.
Well, they're not aware of it. But it's like you have to hold people's hands at some point, and I mean, I admit it. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and then it's like Skyrim's like, go this way. I'm like,
Yeah,
thanks, Skyrim.
Skyrim is like that if you want to follow the story, but the reason I love Skyrim, first of all, it's fucking fantasy, which I like a lot more than sci-fi.
Yeah. Right.
And second, we were talking about this in terms of the map size earlier last week. I like the fact that, like, all right, you know that this is the direction of the actual quest for the story, but there's all this map over here, and I can
Yeah.
go walk over there, and the game adjusts itself in difficulty, and I can go kill. I love that. I just don't have time for it.
Yeah, no, that's actually one of the reasons I do like Skyrim. That's why I compared it famously to Far Cry and all that.
You did
bullshit.
that? That was you?
No, I have no idea. I like getting
Wait,
lost.
what was your quote again?
So,
I
Yeah,
don't
what did
remember.
you say?
I said it's Skyrim-esque in the most beautiful of ways.
That's right. I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
very
They put it
quotable.
on the box.
Very
And then
quotable.
That's not it.
With
Shut up,
ammunition.
Spool. I love you, Spool. No, but I mean, that's actually my all-time favorite thing with games is to get lost.
Oh,
That
yeah.
sounds funny.
Really?
Yeah, that's my favorite thing
I-
for
you
you to
should
do
love
too.
Minecraft.
I know, I should.
Oh.
The thing is, like,
I can't stand getting
that's
lost.
that's
in
why
a
I'm
game.
excited about things like Oculus Rift and the promise of No Man's Sky, even though I know it won't live up to it. So have you actually heard the pitch of what No Man's Sky is?
Yeah.
Essentially, you start on the outest, most rim of the universe,
Yeah.
and you have to make your way to the center.
Yeah.
But they're like, in between, there's going to be all these different adventures and stories that will be procedurally generated. I'm just like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, I'm this lone survivor guy. I'm going to stop on this planet. I'm going to meet like an alien wife. We're going to have a family, kids, and then halfway through, we're going to go, oh shit, I'm supposed to make it to the middle of the universe. I forgot to do that.
No.
That won't happen.
No.
That's the game I'm waiting for.
Here's,
though.
It sounds
you know what?
awesome.
You know
I
what
know.
ruined it for me? Mag. Remember Mag?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mag.
They're like,
First
it's 1,000 versus
Yeah.
1,000 multiplayer.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
256
yeah, so is kind of technically Call of Duty if we're counting all the people playing on other servers that I'm not interacting with.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we all discovered internally that bots are the best thing in the world
oh my god, I love them.
via Titanfall. and that having 32 on 32 people in Battlefield is actually not fun.
There was a point during Bruce's Battlefield Hardline demo where, at E3, where Bruce asked him, does this game have bots to kind of fill in all that cops and robbers stuff happening in the background? And the guy was like, nope, this is all player driven. And all of us kind of went, like he thought he was giving us the right answer, but he was not giving us the answer we wanted.
Well, all I could think of was there's going to be a bunch of idiots all doing stupid things because they all get to do what they want to do, which is usually stupid.
Yeah, or
usually
boring
they're not
things.
doing anything
More
objective.
importantly, they're doing boring things.
Well,
too.
my argument typically is like, yeah, you'll have everyone, 98% of the people will have a good internet connection. Then one dude from Siberia is like,
skipping around
hello,
everywhere.
friends, and it's just like it brings the whole thing
Yes.
down.
Is cop or is robber?
And then just like it just brings the whole thing to a grinding halt.
That's what I'm really excited about Destiny, because Destiny looks like it's actually an open world MMO, but first person. Just it's like if they made Halo, but with a bunch of other Master Chiefs running around. It looks like when you played it and what we've heard about it, it sounds so promising.
That game is like the Star Wars MMO I always wanted, where it's that same thing. Like I just get lost. Like it was just an alpha. It was like just this tiny sliver, but there were parts I'm like, ooh, I want to go over there. Ooh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And it's like that's what excites me. I like games like that, and we're getting closer to that point. Like I said, that pitch of No Man's Sky that doesn't exist.
The game might be very cool.
Oh no, I think that game's gonna be awesome, but
Yeah.
it's also like it's the sort of thing like I've said this before with Peter Molyneux. I feel like he was born in the wrong time, and he has like visions of a game that doesn't exist because the tools don't exist yet right now.
Yeah.
But there is a game out there like that. Like I mean, maybe it'll all come together with Oculus Rift and procedurally generated things. But like, I want a game where it doesn't feel like a video game. Like and sometimes I get glimpses of that.
We're getting
and
pretty close right here.
We're getting well. Well, just like things where like I want that moment where I'm like this is not a video game. This is like I am in this character.
This is a world, yeah.
Yeah, and it goes back to being a kid again, and like when you played games and like you just got lost and you believed you were this character.
What was the first game that you remember? Just like the
Ours?
breadth and the
We should move on.
expansiveness.
Oh, we should move on?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well, that was a good question from Joel.
Sorry. Go ahead, Nasser.
Yeah, sorry. Final question.
What was the first world that you remember? Like you walk into the world and you said, "Oh my God, there's so
It was
much
that.
to do." This is
It was
amazing."
that Midna Flash game where she gives you a hand
When
job.
you got a hand job?
Yeah,
Cool.
I got lost in that
That
for
was
at
a
least
really
10
good world.
minutes. Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Lawrence, when did you first get lost?
I think
Lost
in
the
Link to the
game.
Past when I first went to the Dark World, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
holy shit! I thought the game was ending. There's like 3 times more stuff here. I remember just being like,
James.
and yeah.
I mean, I think mine might not be Final Fantasy VII, though. That's very close. I got very invested in that world. Suikoden was a game that actually turned me on to RPGs, which I previously couldn't stand. So
Oh, yeah, that one.
Suikoden was really good.
Yeah.
Sweet Cody.
Yes.
You mock it. Lawrence knows what it is.
Of course
Any-
Lawrence knows what it is.
Everybody knows what it is. All right, there were
Don't
like
point
3
this shit on your
sequels.
desk. I don't know you're pointing
Yeah,
at.
there, Suikoden 2, right there.
Vodka.
Right.
Pointing at
Oh, yeah,
vodka
oh, yeah,
or an
Suikoden
Xbox.
2.
More
Yeah.
importantly,
Give me-
Suikoden was the
yeah.
game that made me
Just walk into
decide
that.
to try Final Fantasy VII,
Yeah.
which then got me seriously
Yeah.
invested.
Oh,
So-
you remember that character?
Remember Sweet Coden?
Nope, nope, you're
Yep.
wrong. Nope, that's not sweet.
Oh, Sweet Coden.
That's
Wow.
not sweet or Coden.
That's what devs say when they're really hard at work. Guys,
Thank
it's
you,
Sweet
Spool.
Code
I'm
tonight.
Sweet
Thank
Coden.
you,
Oh,
Spool.
Final
jeez.
Fantasy VI. Was the
How do
first
I
game
get
that
in
made
this
me
pipe?
feel-
I don't know. I'm not sure.
all
Let
right.
me just say mine because it's going to trump all yours. Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time was the first time I actually got invested in a world where like I was like, this is so cool. I could play this forever.
Mine was
And,
Palm.
and,
Oh,
and that was the game that I thought, and it didn't require you to play 70 hours like Final Fantasy VII, and it wasn't Sweet Coden, a game no one's ever heard of. It
Real
was-
quick on top of yours, I will say that the best thing about Ocarina of Time was that my brother paid for it, so I wasn't allowed to go further than he had in the game. That was his rule. I could start my own save file, but I couldn't go further than him. But that didn't mean that I couldn't do everything else that wasn't
Oh,
technically
yes.
narratively beyond his game.
Right.
So I had like all the bottles and gathered everything, and except that I hadn't gone technically further than him.
That's funny.
Huh.
Lawrence, sorry, go ahead.
All right.
All right. Well, we got to wrap this up
We're-
soon. So
Yeah, we're done talking about video games.
yeah, we
Let's
gotta get
talk
to,
about our
uh,
community.
Oh yeah, our community stuff.
Can you
Yeah.
bring that up, actually.
Yes.
Some of the
Here,
first
you do
stuff,
it.
you don't have to look at it until we get to the fan art.
Too
but,
bad.
Well,
Or
yeah.
we like to
Let me
call
know.
it
Let me know when and all.
Fart.
Sure. So to kick it off, friend of the show, Mr. Sark, commented on our Patreon video.
Oh, yeah, that's right, he did.
Also,
Mr. Sark.
Mr. Sark. Also, congratulations, Mr. Sark, for having a baby, Atlas.
Yep.
He did it. He had
Yeah.
a baby.
Technically, his wife had the baby.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he helped.
And then onto
No, he
the
didn't.
onto the weirdos on Twitter. Ashley at I look cute on you cordially invited us to her wedding.
Whoa, wait, where is it? Where is it? Hold on.
I told her that we are absolutely coming, and I demanded to know where it is. She hasn't responded yet.
Oh.
So,
She's like,
fuck.
fuck.
You're off. Yeah.
I meant to be tweeting someone else.
We'll get to that.
supposed
No,
to
she's
be my
trying to
husband.
figure out what table we're all going to be sitting at.
Oh yeah. Do you think they're gonna split us up?
No, they're going to split us up.
Yeah.
Shit.
Theodore
have to go
at
down this rock.
Blackheart13 said on July 13th that today was his birthday. And he says, and of course, I'm celebrating it with an Inside Gaming Sims 3 marathon.
Bad
The reason
idea.
I mentioned that is we've been doing some housekeeping on the playlist on the channel. So if you want to watch our Sims 3 playlist in order from earliest to latest, you can do that now.
Can I go back to Theodore and say I feel really bad for him because he was alone watching YouTube videos on his birthday. That's really I feel really bad. Maybe where does Theodore live? Maybe we can go visit him too.
Is he having a wedding anytime soon?
Find out here. Let's see if he put his.
My wife for the longest time has been saying that we should cut together all of the cunt episodes and just call it the full cunt.
Ooh, I like that.
And then
damn
just
it.
Sell it on DVD.
Well, I guess we probably can't do that, but find some way to distribute the full cunt to
Whatever.
people.
EA's like, whatever.
Actually, that would have been a good perk if we had any sort of Kickstarter or thing to do.
We could do
would
that.
Do
send
it now.
them an HD file for the full cunt.
Speaking of which, while Lawrence is looking that up,
I think Theodore's in Russia.
Theodore's in Russia. We're on our way.
He lives in Toronto.
Toronto. I've been seeing a lot of people trying to kickstart us going to PAX South, which is in San Antonio.
Yeah.
If you guys want to do that, of course, that's no problem. That's a much cheaper trip than going to like Australia or anything. So if you
Yeah.
guys want to kickstart it, go right ahead. That's not a problem.
Also, going back to what we were talking about earlier, we're also trying to find ways so you guys don't have to kickstart us.
Yeah.
We're trying to work out ways with like sponsors and stuff like that where they could just fly us to places, stuff like that. We're still talking about it, but obviously you don't have to kickstart every time we go to the bathroom. We hate to ask you guys for money all the time, but we are starting a new.
We're not asking for money.
What's that?
I said we're not asking for money.
Give
They
us
wanna-
money.
They want to kickstart it, they can. If not, that's okay too.
We do love when you guys do stuff like that, but we don't want to be completely reliant on you to do that. We don't want to keep begging you for money. Bruce does.
YouTube tip jar.
We will be starting a Spreadshirt store soon, which is going to be good.
Only
It's a
3 years too late.
yeah. Well, it's a better way of getting you guys involved with making shirts with us, which would be really cool. So more info on that coming soon. Sorry, what else, Lawrence?
And then we had some interesting comments and reactions on our last podcast on the discussion about Hearthstone and women in gaming. Bendy Rose, who actually frequently comments on our videos, she commented that she plays Call of Duty and does very well. And I think Joel will appreciate this. She goes on to say, I'd say those overall statistics are probably true because most girl gamers are pretty casual or only stick with one game series, which 90% of the time is something that doesn't require much skill, like MMOs, MOBAs, heck, even COD.
Burn.
But I think most girls who play COD are pretty casual compared to the MMO and MOBA girls, and there are definitely less hardcore female gamers than male gamers, so it all kind of fits together.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, well, that's
We'll
it
never
was just-
know.
Whether it's
Too
true or
bad.
not, that
Already
was
agreed. Too bad.
something our
A
community
girl said it, so it's not
Too bad.
We're not on us being misogynistic.
And then on our subreddit, Satan74,
Yep.
Yeah.
she said
That guy.
she thinks James made a very good
she
point
thinks.
about men playing since birth, where most women don't. She says, I was lucky to get a Nintendo when I was young and has played it ever since. She said, however, once I hit high school, I didn't play as often or nearly as much as I do now. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that I went to an all-girls school and was mostly surrounded by other girls who didn't play
They did not play
and
video
definitely
games.
treated it as a nerd activity.
That
Once I
makes
got
sense.
older, I got back into it big time, especially once I started dating mostly guys who played. And then she says, now I have 2 daughters and they
figured
love
it
to
out,
play
follow
video
that pattern.
games.
Aw.
They've watched us since birth, and there are many more games geared towards younger kids.
Oh,
Get to the pipe.
Yeah,
God
now
damn
I
it!
get
I found the pipe.
that's so,
So,
nice.
Well, thank you for agreeing with me, Satan. Was that your name?
Satan74.
Well, she has 2 daughters too, and she
Yeah, yeah.
forces them to play video games.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So, interesting viewpoint. We don't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it too often.
Yeah, good
Well, I'm
follow-up.
just happy that women are confidently commenting on our videos.
Yeah.
And sharing their opinions.
As long as we break down the gender roles, especially in video games, like the better. Because we can just move forward as a society. Not us,
You and I
the
can break
world.
out some gender roles tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
Ew.
I'll be the top.
On the Left
Again.
4 Dead- on the Left 4 Dead co-op video, Larry Bundy Jr. says, that's a Pop-Tart? I thought it was the Crave thing that Kellogg's does.
Well, he's wrong.
No.
Moving
Wait,
on.
what?
We were paid by Pop-Tart to make that video, so
This is the most visually compelling part of the podcast right now.
Lifeless planet.
Yeah, it's in the name.
Lifeless channel.
well, we were supposed to play Rust as well, but we just got kind of sucked into
Yeah,
this
Yeah,
that's
this
game.
game's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you like this but not I don't understand, y'all.
Anything else, Lawrence?
Well,
Yeah,
it's
on
not
the
some-
Steam Roulette video, Thomas Agostinovic, Augustinovic,
him.
whatever.
Yep.
He says Rim capsule is Swedish. It means space capsule.
I saw that.
I saw that too.
I don't care.
Yeah, that doesn't change anything.
Still a rip-off of Tetris.
I don't think so.
Rim Castle? I don't remember.
Rim Castle.
Whatever it's called.
All right, so moving on to fan art.
All right. Should I pull that up?
Yeah,
All
if
right.
you want to.
Yeah,
you guys
please.
have seen this, I'm sure. Heem Brandon, Hiim Brandon on Twitter. He has been going insane,
Yeah.
cranking out
Yep.
the best MS Paint fan art we've ever seen in our entire
So
lives.
much of it.
We haven't confirmed that's MS Paint,
Keeps
have we?
going down, keeps going down, keeps going down.
Yeah.
No, it's oil on canvas.
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah. I get what he's doing.
Uh huh.
Because he even said, he goes, I'm going to get favorites from all of you guys. And
Yeah.
I just kind of like, it's like a shotgun spray. I just hit favorite on everything. And I'm sure your guys' phones blow up in the middle of the night of like,
That's
like
okay.
Adam's awake.
Adam loves
I-
heroin.
I don't think this is
I-
MS Paint. This looks like an iPad.
I hate to say it, but I
Oh, true.
was picky. And so
Oh.
the first one was like spool high or whatever, and I was like, that gets a favorite. That's good. But then some of the other ones almost seemed like he was pandering to us.
Well,
And
this
I don't
one-
want people to
Yeah,
pander
that's the thing.
to
I
us.
don't want him to
The
pander.
Steam Roulette one was really good.
That one's
Yeah.
good.
See, crap.
It's all crap, and then
good.
there's a good one.
Crap. I like that.
Does that say pool on it?
It does say. It
I
looks
thought
like.
it said poop.
Oh, poop.
Oh.
And then one says good.
I thought it said pool as well.
He knew what a P looked like and then immediately forgot afterwards. And then next.
We want to do a shout out to Mr. Random Frank.
Oh yeah,
He
the UFC video.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
recreated us and a lot of our characters in UFC and watching Adam and Bruce beat each other to hell.
That's
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
those
Also,
were,
Joel and I fought.
Joel versus James and,
Yeah.
Tunt versus Cunt.
and
Yeah.
even though he played several matches, he couldn't get Joel to win once.
Not one.
And,
It was the outcome we knew, not the one we'd hoped for.
and then Andrew Alvarez, or at Hazardous95, drew a cute little picture of us apparently with Down syndrome.
What? It's just like we're little
and
people.
And we're all in the uniforms
Yeah,
of the
that
things
we
that
think
we
we
things
like.
we like,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
awesome.
Halo,
I actually-
Skyrim.
I just noticed
Stupid, Star Wars. I'm just
I like how Bruce's hair is like a
not.
frame for his hair.
next.
And then we got popular spin art from the wonderfully named Blaze Hole Jammer.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah.
know they needed a placeholder.
Adam, what's that picture from of your arm? In
That's
first
when we did.
perspective?
That's when we did Octodad.
Yeah, but
pictures
he-
on the green screen.
No,
He
made
did.
the-
He did the perspective effect
the
in
blurring
Photoshop,
and
and he
stuff.
did it really well.
Yeah,
Like, creepy and well.
Yeah, well-
but look at her butt.
And then, man, yeah, he
Yeah,
got
it's
a ton.
great.
He did a great job with her butt too.
I feel sorry for anyone listening to this podcast and not watching it.
Well, they'll
You're
see
missing
it.
out.
Well, you got to go to YouTube, y'all. And then finally, YouTube user Skinky
Yeah.
posted the wonderful ABCs with Inside Gaming's
yeah.
Yep.
referring to his inability to work a mouse.
Now,
Fun-
I've already. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, fun fact about this: it's actually filmed on the big orange couch.
No, what?
Where we film it. Yeah,
Really?
the IG Kids show.
I already I defended myself on the subreddit. As you can see in the video, there is a microphone in my way that was blocking the screen, and all I saw was red and green. And I thought red was, I don't know why.
you
I
went
thought
to
red
TV
was
training?
decline.
No. Yeah.
And Molyneux already confusing the shit out of me.
He's like, "Don't click it, don't
when he's
click
like,
it."
and he's
Yeah.
like, this part's very confusing, and it wasn't. I thought he was like trying to trick me. I was so confused.
I just like that his reaction was basically, "You'd be a fucking idiot to want to experience any more of that."
Of this game I
But
created.
he was awesome though. He was so
Oh,
good.
he was
He
awesome.
was the best.
Yeah. I would actually like to take that opportunity to say that. Peter Molyneux was
And that show was
amazing.
canceled immediately.
Yeah.
We'll find a new place for the big orange couch to go.
Oh,
Always moving,
yeah,
ever
that's
changing.
right. In the loft is where it is.
And I think that's going to bring us to an end.
Now
Right?
that'll wrap it up for
That's
this
it.
week.
All right.
Thanks for listening to our podcast, everybody.
Yes, please
Or watching.
watching or downloading, spread it
you get it.
around.
Yeah.
Once again, we're trying to make this a regular thing. I know we're trying to build an audience on putting out hour-long content, but I think it's going well.
Yeah, it is.
It's a different format. It's kind of
I
different.
think it's going well.
I hope it's going
I think it's
good.
going well. What do you think?
What do you think about this thing?
think?
We'll see you guys
Wait,
on
we
the.
have a catchphrase yet? Like,
Nothing at all.
Like we do. What is it?
It's
Make it or break it.
Make it or break
Make
it.
it or break it.
So don't forget, kids.
Oh fuck.
Make it or break it.
I think I have an ingrown hair.
Thanks for listening. I miss my hair.
All right, we're done.
Hold on. Register your name. IG podcast.
That's what it says.
It says that. He's right.
Look, to be fair, you slash with the X button.
We should step in and go, You guys can't do that.
Well, I think they have, but Reddit was able to influence this tiny little community, right?
It was codenamed Next Generation Portable, or NGP.
NGP. Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
right.
Dumb.
They should have stuck with that one.
Yeah. Or it's just going to be a chip that you put in your brain or something like that. Not that soon, but
Yeah.
it's going towards that.
My nickname is Games.
Games.
Because I play
Games
so many
Willems.
games. And it sounds kind of like
That
James.
sounds pretty cool. Games
Call me
Willems.
Games.
Time really to devote our time to just one game because we don't do a League of Legends channel. We try to play as many games as we can. And also that keeps us from, boring ourselves. We play things like Shovel Knight. Did I just go to the same level? Oh,
No, we have
This is new. Okay.